This time on Roadkill Garage, meet the Ford muscle truck. 460 power. At Roadkill, we love our muscle trucks. That's because 70s and 80s American pickup trucks are like the cheapest way to get into a V8 rear-wheel drive platform, and you don't have to care about paint and body or anything like that. You probably know the Roadkill original muscle truck best of all. It's a 1974 Chevy short bed step side. We slammed the thing on the ground and threw in an all aluminum LS6 engine. And the last time out at the drag strip, that thing went 1276 in the quarter mile, which is super cool. And then there's the next muscle truck, which is Steve Dulcich's D100 right here, that's become known as the Mopar muscle truck. In a recent episode of Roadkill Garage, we threw a 408 cubic inch stroker into this thing, took it to the drag strip, and immediately blew up the rear end. We've got the Chevy muscle truck, we've got the Mopar muscle truck, and now I present the FMT, the Ford muscle truck, a 1968 F100 short bed step side with a 460 already swapped in this thing. It is going to be really good. Let's go for a ride. Go. Ooh, valve float.
No, it's just mixture, I think.
So this thing, it's old projection, I think. That means it's like from the late 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's the original aftermarket fuel injection. Instead of a computer to tune it, you turn little dials on that control.
And none of them do anything?
I've got them all on max.
I can't believe we're driving the FMT with the air conditioning on.
Should I put it on a high?
Whoa. Yes. Wow. How's the power of the 460?
Oh, it's a little too rich.
Yeah, you're right. Runs terrible. Let's see, power.
Mid-range, put it down a little bit too.
Okay, try it.
Oh, it's even worse.
Junk! There's no need to even tune on it because I'm throwing it away. Have you seen the wiring nightmare under the hood?
I didn't want to look.
It's pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah. Will it even do a burnout?
Oh, I'm sure it would. Whoa, that was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad actually. To give everyone an idea of what's going on with the Ford muscle truck, it's a 68 F100 short bed step side, as is the tradition for the muscle truck. It has a swapped in 460 big block, which wouldn't have been available in an F100 in 1968. And it has a C6 transmission, which is the really good beefy automatic, and it's a Ford 9-inch rear end.
Let's see if it valve floats if I keep it floored.
Okay.
For first gear.
It's a natural rev limiter. It's just done.
It stopped revving at $5 grand.
Pretty good. Highway flyer.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the garage and number one, get the EFI off the thing and then go from there, because that's the only thing that's really stopping the drivability.
Yeah.
Ironically, the fuel injection upgrade that was installed is the biggest detriment to the car's performance.
It is. Now we're going to make this super. This is going to be the greatest F100 ever.
Yeah. I think the FMT only has one fatal flaw.
Let me guess.
I think you can.
It's 3 more initials, EFI.
Yeah, unfortunately it's got this prehistoric throttle body setup on it that just is not working right. The deal here is that this fuel delivery is an ancient, like late 80s Holley projection setup, I think. I'm not even positive.
I think it's probably one of the first aftermarket EFIs you could buy.
Likely.
Can I start it up for you one last time so you can see how much fuel hoses out of that thing?
It's ridiculous. Watch this. He's gonna fire it up and you're gonna see a cone of fuel spray out of here at idle. And it puts through so much more gasoline than you would ever have with a carburetor. Look at that.
Why is it not starting?
Because it's junk. So now you've seen firsthand the problem with this thing is that sometimes it doesn't start, it doesn't idle below 2,000 RPMs, so we're gonna put a carburetor on it.
But it's perfect for a carburetor. It's a 4-barrel base on it.
Let's take the hood off. It's gonna make it much easier to work on this thing. So I'm gonna
agree.
be climbing all over it. Ah, this is gonna be much better to work on. I can get it all the spaghetti wiring now.
Look at the way this fan is bolted in here.
That looks like we did it.
Man, that is just totally inadequate. Wow. So the streamer test shows me there's almost no air going through. We have a big giant aluminum radiator, but the fan system, it's standing off the radiator by over an inch. So the airflow can just get sucked from the sides and right out. I've got a big dual fan and I'm gonna seal it tight to the back side of the radiator. Look at that. Look at this fan, it's just...
Thing's garbage. I thought that the fan was like for some home air conditioning unit or something.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye throttle position sensor. Look, I'm already making progress. Goodbye fuel injection driver. Okay, throttle body off. Look at that, someone RTV'd this thing to the manifold, which, by the way, you never need to do. I mean, that's a roadkill butchery thing, but you could. Okay, show and tell. Here's what we're dealing with here. So this here is really rudimentary throttle body EFI, and it's called that because this is a throttle body. It has bores in it here that have butterflies that open when you step on the gas pedal to let air inside the engine. And then up here are the fuel injectors. These two pods right here spray gas down into those bores. The reason we're getting rid of this is basically because it's old and questionable on this truck, not running quite right. And this is the Holley 4-barrel. You can see it's got 4 smaller barrels on it, whereas this has 2 larger ones. This is a dual plane intake manifold, which means it's the right thing to use for the street. It has 2 separate banks. One side of the manifold will feed 2 outboard cylinders on one side of the engine and 2 inboard cylinders on the other side of the engine. But do you remember what we've learned on the dyno several times? You don't want this divider between the 2 planes completely sealing up against the bottom of the carburetor or the EFI.
No.
And they don't run right unless there's a notch right there. So if I were you, I wouldn't use this 4-hole on there. I would actually put at least a 1/2-inch spacer on it so that the manifold can share pulses side to side.
Yeah.
You have a 1/2-inch spacer?
I'll take a look. I'd like to have something that would insulate.
That would be nice because this thing's hot. This manifold is super hot. That's probably because the exhaust crossover isn't blocked. That can also cause problems with fuel boiling inside the carburetor, which is why Dulcich is hoping he can find either a wooden or a phenolic resin spacer to put under the carburetor that just helps insulate it a little bit from all of that heat. And now we're going to the ultimate organized leak, the Holley carburetor. We're old guys, we love these.
I couldn't find a better phenolic spacer, which I wanted to kind of insulate the carburetor a little bit.
Oh, you didn't have one?
No, I used it on the Mopar muscle truck, so I'm just gonna go with an aluminum spacer.
Okay.
Are you ready for the visual treat?
It's gonna improve my mood. So what are you installing there?
That's a Holley Street Avenger. I think it's rated at 750, or is it 780?
The Street Avengers, they called 770s. Even
Oh, 770, okay.
But it has the same Venturi and bore size
As a 750, yeah. And it's a vacuum secondary carb. Looks great on there. Wow, it just lifted my mood like 100 points and I was already feeling good. What's all that?
This thing is a wiring disaster. It needs the full Freiberger rewire job.
What's all this?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Pisgetti everywhere.
Yeah.
The seller said the wiring is not very good.
No, that would be a compliment.
It's a bird's nest. We can't have that in a Ford muscle truck.
I know. You know one thing that you should probably train the audience on?
What?
Is the bootlegging history of the FMT.
One of the things that really intrigued me about the truck, the seller described its past life, and that was hauling contraband from Humboldt to Bakersfield. So the truck was really set up as a bootlegger. It had a really high gear ratio. That's because it's a long way to Humboldt for whatever they were trying to get over there. That keeps the RPMs down. That was also the reason for this, the 460 big block. They wanted real horsepower, and he specifically told me it was to outrun the cops. Over here, I looked at that and I thought, why does that truck have a spotlight? He said, well, you know, for those nighttime runs, when you're opening gates on dirt roads. Here, it looks like a toolbox, spare fuel tank, so you don't run out of gas. A little subtle trick, the tail lights. Normally these trucks have lights hanging off a bracket off the side of the box. These are all the way in on the fenders, but you come in at almost any angle and they become shrouded and invisible. And it has a switch for turning off the brake lights to make it inoperable. So the old lighting trick. Oh, the all-important air conditioner, because when you're driving the bootlegger truck, you want to be bootlegging in comfort.
It's like the 70s version of a rum runner.
Yeah.
It's like Junior Johnson meets 68 F100 big block.
Yeah. I'm going to work on getting that fan installed. Derail Performance makes this. It has two 12-inch fans and a built-in shroud. It's way better than what was on it because of the shroud alone. But the other thing is, you've got 4,000 CFM of airflow. The old setup on that truck probably had 1,200 at the most. So this is going to move a ton of air, and the airflow is critical. Hopefully, it'll keep the thing cool.
I've got most of the wiring gutted out of the car. We're going to redo a bunch of stuff. When I'm wiring electric fans, I always power them through relays. And I found this cool kit from MagnaFuel. These two fans, could they be handled by just one relay? And the thing is, we both agree we want to run two relays just for added protection. But then he broke out this thing I've never seen before.
Check it out. It's just an inductive ammeter. We'll see what the draw actually is on these fans. Find out what we really need. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
You on there?
I think so.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, when it first fires up, it spikes to 75, but on steady draw, it's only 25 amps. So that, in theory, could be handled by just one of those 30 amp relays. But, like, let's say a piece of trash got stuck in one of these, or the wiring got old, or I'm gonna use that doohickey.
Do the doubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this thing is trick. Can you still buy these?
I don't know. I got that at Sears like when I was in high school.
Wow, as much wiring as I do, I can't believe I don't have that.
I can't believe I still have that after all these years. It's considered gone now, right?
Yep. I've got most of the wiring gutted out of this thing. As a matter of fact, have a look at that pile of stuff on the bench over there. It's ridiculous how much wire I took out of this thing. This is aftermarket ignition. This is something that Steve's had sitting on the shelf forever. So once again, we're trying not to spend any money. We know it works. We've had this thing running in the crusher before. All of the wiring works pretty similarly regardless of which kind of box you're using, whether it's a factory box or one of these aftermarket things. I hate drilling holes in old cars, even when they're clapped out. So I'm gonna use that one hole and mount this box. And if Steve is feeling ambitious, then he can put one more tech screw over here.
All right. Hey, Freiberger, I think this is ready to go.
You're gonna test fit that relay? Man.
Wrangle wires. Ooh, there's plenty of room.
Tons. Oh, that is gonna solve the overheating, I think. Oh yeah, this is perfect placement.
High five, bro. Yeah!
Radiator!
Yeah!
wired. It's the morning after our first night with the Ford muscle truck. We got a lot of work done till like 2:30 in the morning. I totally had my way with the wiring on this thing.
Oh man, I've got the patented David Freiberger wiring job now.
You do?
Yeah, thanks.
But then the distributor bit us. It turns out this thing has what's called a Hall effect distributor in it, which does not work with the aftermarket ignition system, so we're waiting for a new one of those to show up and drop in. Other than that, it's ready to fire up. So I really got to get rid of that tack, and while the steering wheel's not horrible, I'd like something a little bit more 70s.
Yeah, and we need some gauges too.
Yeah, I'm going to show people what I did here.
Okay.
Remember yesterday when we got this thing, there was just a jungle of wiring in here. It was a mess. But I wanted to show you the basics of what I executed here. This is a real sort of heavy-duty industrial way to wire a vehicle. And the key is adding this right here, which is an 80 amp continuous duty rated solenoid. So what this does is it gives me two different ways to pick up power for accessories. One over here with constant battery power, whether the key's on or off, and another one over here that is switched ignition battery power that's powered by a big 8-gauge wire that can handle quite a bit of draw. Now we've got a solid foundation to start with, and it's not pretty, but it's super functional, and so I would look into that if you're putting together something, especially a vehicle that has a whole bunch of electrical accessories.
All right, step into the F100. We're gonna change a few things in the cabin, starting with the wheel. Freiberger just totally styled me with this sweet Scott Drake steering wheel. It's kind of a Mustang reproduction, very traditional. That's what you would have seen in the 70s and 80s. Here are the gauges, oil, volts, water. It gives me real numbers. They're mechanical gauges, so that's gonna be an upgrade. The last thing we're gonna change is the tachometer. This 10,000 RPM tach is a little too modern. It really doesn't fit the rest of the truck. So I'm gonna go with this, the smaller autometer tach. It goes to 8 grand and it'll do the job and look better doing it. So that's about it in the cab, and can't wait to drive this thing.
Ready? Here's what we found out really late last night. The ignition system wasn't gonna work because the distributor that's in this thing is like out of a 90s EFI truck, and the magnetic pickup inside it is not a magnetic pickup. This is a regular old school magnetic pickup with a reluctor wheel and a sensor and everything. This has what's called a Hall effect, and it won't work with the aftermarket ignition that we've got it on now. It was being controlled by the EFI. So I have to change out the entire distributor in order to make it work, but this should be pretty quick. Oh, bummer. It won't go. So the thing I'm dealing with now is the Ford oil pump drive shaft is a hex-shaped shaft that is driven off this at the bottom of the distributor down into the oil pump. And the thing is, that shaft is basically inside a hole like this, and it can fall over so that you can't get the distributor in. So that's what's happening, is I'm trying to deal with that, getting that shaft not to be up against the sidewall like that. Basically what it's gonna take is a jack on that side of the truck.
You mean your plan is to fix it with gravity?
Yep. The thing is, you know, that shaft isn't straight up and down. It's actually leaned over. So what you're doing is bringing it upright. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. So before I took the distributor out, I marked two things. First, the location of the vacuum advance mechanism. You can see I marked it right there on the block. The second thing I did was mark where the rotor was pointing, and I marked that here, and you can see the rotor's not quite going there. I'm gonna hold the distributor down. Steve's just gonna tick the engine a little bit, which will then put it in the right spot, I hope. Ready? Tick. There we go. Okay, good. The twin tube chrome bumper is not cutting it. Now we gotta get rid of it.
Wow, that thing's heavy.
Vast improvement in style and performance. We're gonna put on 15 by 8s all the way around. It's a wheel Vintiques wheel. OE style. It'll take a dog dish hubcap. And this is a 275/60/15 Cooper Cobra GT. And at the front, we got the 255/60. The front suspension on this truck is very weird. Instead of conventional dual A-arms, it's got two big I-beams that do this, which is why when we jack it up, you can see that the tires swing in towards each other.
Look at the angle on this. It's unbelievable.
I know. All right, coming down. All right, let's make this pooch run.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Did you put the rotor in it?
Oh, you know what? It's the wrong rotor. That's why. Look, it's because it's the short rotor.
Do you have a long rotor?
Yeah, look. Dulcich just fully caught me on that. Check it out. This is the rotor for the regular Ford distributor cap. That's what was installed. This is the tall rotor for the one with the cap adapt. You 100% nailed that, Dulcich. Okay, now it's gonna do something like a big backfire.
Oh, it's gonna bark to life like a big dog.
Go. Perfect. Look how much better that is already.
I couldn't even run on that fuel injection system we had.
Let's time it, put the hood on, and go drive it.
Yeah.
It immediately drives 100% better.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, it was virtually undrivable before. Wow, I feel like I could take this anywhere now.
This is our best vehicle.
I think it is.
Well, the Mopar muscle truck is good because it's got the 4-speed and I like the style. It has a lot of horsepower, but this thing just cruises and has air conditioning.
It's pretty quiet too.
It's charging. It has 60 PSI of oil pressure.
I bet you that 460 is really good.
It is now.
Yeah. Man, this thing's got a lot of torque.
Shifts great.
Yeah. Wow, it shifts like it's got a shift kit in it.
It probably does.
Yeah.
If you were bootlegging cargo out of Humboldt, why wouldn't you have a shift kit? This is like driving a new car.
I know.
I know what we need to test.
What?
The 5,000 RPM capability. Oh, this thing runs so much better. Still floats the valves at 4,800 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not the EFI, that's valve float.
Yep. You couldn't even hear the valve float before.
But did you hear how much more on note the exhaust is with the carburetor on there?
That was 100%. It was worthless. And I don't want to feel like I'm just kicking on EFI by saying it over and over
No,
again.
it's because it was that old junky EFI.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah.
We haven't even put plugs in it yet.
I know, we haven't done anything to this other than make it great.
It's not misfiring as far as the plugs, but you know, the valves float thing.
Burnout?
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna roll my window down just for the experience of it because,
Good idea.
yeah. Oh, and do you see the arm angle?
Oh, that's perfection. Oh, it's just so peaceful out. I can hear the birds chirping.
So now we've got the original muscle truck, the Chevy.
Yep.
We've got the Mopar muscle truck, and now the Ford muscle truck. What could possibly happen with that scenario?
3 muscle trucks.
We have a lot of work to do before we can get all 3 of those things together for the ultimate showdown.
Ultimate showdown. I like the sound of that.
I think that's going to come up eventually right here on MotorTrend On Demand and Roadkill Garage.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I know, it's gonna be great.
Hey, David, do you say Dyrel or
Derail,
Derail? I call it a Dyrel.
even though it's spelled D-E-R.
Derail? Derelli?
It doesn't have an accent on anything, it's derail.
Oh, man, that's pretty nice. All right, I'm ready.